Ocean Tips, Pro Group Racing, Daggy Beaver with you to look towards the big Stacked Eagle Farm card, including some of the rescheduled Doomben features, as well as the support program from Caulfield. Beaver, what's going on?
Oh, mates, just keep rolling through the weeks as we sort of get towards the mid-year, and nothing too major. Staying safe.
Sounds about right. We after a decent enough midweek card, we nailed a few of the first starters and a few of our specials. I think all our specials pretty much got up, so it was nice to get through there and build us a bit of a bank for today, where it is a massive card. 3 Group 1 races. I think the rest of the card's all black type. The rescheduled Zaaki tribute race from last week pops up here, a cracking BRC sprint. So we'll get onto it. We're back at Eagle Farm. They've moved there too. Track is a soft 5. Incredible that track holds up so well with all the weather they've had. The rail is in the true, so it should play okay, Beaver.
Well, you'd like to think that it'd play okay if the track rating is what it is, and it's holding up that well. Should allow us for a good day's racing, and may the best horses win.
That's all we can hope for. We kick off with the fillies, Group 2, 2100 metres, the Roses. How are we starting today?
Yeah, haven't changed. Stick solid here with Barbara from our tip last week. Comes into this well prepared, outside of one failure this time in first or second. That's a good point to that form for this. And again, this is a race with not a lot of depth to it. So Barbara's got some quality about it, and drawn well, should be super hard to beat here.
Yep, I will concur with that for all the reasons we'd already discussed, but comes here, great run in the Adelaide Oaks, and from gate 3 now gets a fantastic run, right on pace, very hard to beat. I thought the main dangers were the other Melbourne horse, Belle Savoie, going well, and just a bit of different film here. And I suppose you have to respect Smirk, who finished on the heels of Dynasties and Gypsy Goddess. Dynasties has since come to Sydney and won. So I think they're the main 3, but I think Barbed Raiders a good way to start the day. Race 2 is the Group 3 Premier's Cup over the 2400 metres, where I started the form on this race wanting to get Steel Prince beaten. And the more I did the form on this race, the more I thought Steel Prince is going to win. So I have it on top. It does get Nash on as well, which is another tick. And I thought the main danger was the Soprano Supreme, who gets back onto the dry, has had the 2400 metre run and was pretty brave up on the inside there at the Gold Coast. So, but Steel Prince on top for me, Beaver.
It's funny you should say that, because I did exactly the same thing. I looked at Steel Prince and looked at the rest of the field and went, what can beat Steel Prince here? And I went through the form, and then I went back to Steel Prince and I went, I can't really find anything that stood out to me that's going to beat it. It's 110 from 33, 9 placings. It's got an outstanding record, particularly over this distance. Goes fantastic. The last 2 runs have been pretty good. A lot to like about them. I just think it's a better horse. The only thing that probably doesn't go into its favour, that its form on softer tracks is not as good as when it's on a bit more top of the ground. So if there is a chink in the armour, it may be just the track condition, but outside of that, some pretty mediocre stayers in here. This one, the only one outside of this that I thought was splendiferous 2 starts back, was really good. I was a little bit disappointed with its run last start, but it did have to sort of sit up outside the pace there. Point in the PM was outstanding, and that race had some depth. But yeah, I don't know how, with such a tough run, that may have taken too much out of it. So Steel Prince for me.
Good point you make. You just always forgive horses that get stuck outside lead. They just get beaten all the time. Anyway, we get to a race where talking about horses getting beaten all the time. This is full of them. The Lord Mayor's Cup, 1800 metres, Group 3 apparently. Is any horse going any good in this race?
No. Made it really hard, didn't it? I was
Yep.
trying to go through this field and you go, Big Boy Roy is the favourite. Some of these horses at their best are probably better than Big Boy Roy. I settled on Hungry Heart. I thought it showed a bit more last start, but in a better quality race. I'm hoping it improved, trialled okay prior to last start. So based on that, I just went the Hungry Heart to improve a little bit here and beat some out of form horses.
So the story of the day is I think there's going to be some horses that get back onto dry tracks after a long time that are going to improve. Problem is I'm not quite sure which ones they could be. I've got Big Boy on top because I think it's going the least bad and has J-Mac. But I can see something like Berdebeck getting away from heavy tracks, improving. Something like you mentioned Hungry Heart, and even Galaxy Bell down the bottom, it's 50s, and was going pretty well until the last couple where it got stuck on bogs. So sort of clutching at a bit of straws, but I am going with the favourite on top, but may have something small on those other two, Berdebeck and Galaxy Bell at a big price, but a tricky race. Race 4 is the Sires
Possibly
Produce.
possibly the worst Group 3 of all time.
There's been some stinkers this year, hasn't there? Geez, there's been some bad group races. Anyway, what happens when you tire all the good horses after 3 runs?
Well, there's not a horse here that's won a race in the last probably 3 starts.
No. I'm just looking through now. Star of Michelin won a race 76 days ago. Had 5 starts since.
And Big Boy Roy
And Big
last
Boy Roy
prep and
won
Zaydani last prep.
6 months ago, yeah. So something's going to win it. Good on it. The Sires Produce Stakes is a Group 2 for the 2-year-olds. Over 1,400 metres, a big, thick card here. Who you got on top?
Yeah, big field here. I've settled on Political Debate. I think it's drawn on the 1. That's perfect. Can sit on the pace. Got a little bit out of its ground last start. Got way back in the field. And absolutely motored home when it got clear running up the fence. I thought that was an excellent run. I think it'll be further improved by that. Has McDonald aboard rather than Pike this time in. Soft track won't hurt, and I just think this is improving and can run an almighty race.
And with the Waller stable drawn an inside gate now, they'll think they can go forward. They tend to go back from wide and join inside. They'll think they're a real chance now. Like what you said there, but I have got Resonator on top. I think it's come back well since gelding. Won both starts pretty well. We'll go across it's a big field to get across, I know. But if Tim Clark can get control-ish of this race, I think it'll be in the finish. It's been tough and will give you a sight. And you've mentioned Political Debate, who I was going to mention. And have I got anything else here? The other Waller horse, Basquate, coming from the decent enough run at Hawkesbury and is 20-1, might be a sniff here. He tends to get them pretty much on point by the time they get third up to Queensland in these sort of campaigns. First Group 1 of the card is the Doomben Cup over 2,100 metres. A weight for age race, which sees Zaaki as favourite. We suggested it'll win last time. It's now getting a drier track. It's getting the same field. Can anything beat it?
I don't think so here, mate. Yeah, can't get past it. Just looks perfect race for Zaaki, and will go on its winning way.
Not much to add. The Fred Best Classic over 1,400 metres is a Group 3 for the 3-year-olds. Another big field here. One of your favourites, Prince of Boom, is favourite. You think it's going to keep winning?
I think it's going to be super hard to beat, and will give a bold sight. Steps up to the 1,400 here, so that's certainly going to test it. So that has me a little bit concerned. But yeah, it's flying at the moment. I've gone for Start Tontes. Actually, while it was a bit disappointing last start, I don't think it was the best of rides. Got way out of its ground, and then finished off okay in a race that was just too hard to make up that sort of ground. I think it'll sit a bit more handy. It gets the service of Jamie Carr aboard here, and it's third up. I think that sets it up to be primed and ready for this. So I've got Star Tontes on top. And then if I was looking for a bit of value, I think Alpine Edge can improve here as well, being third up. Some natural progression. The last two starts finished 3 lengths behind Marzu last start, finishing off nicely. I think it'll also potentially run a really bold race.
Yeah, both good chances. I am going to stick with Prince of Boom. I think it's going really well. It has gapped the rest in the fight with Sword of State, who's not here since being retired. I think it'll be very hard to beat. Gets a nice run from there. And I think I've got to have something on Flying Crazy. I think that was a great win at Scone last start. Before that, won well here and is going really well. And drawn to be, by this time, perhaps be the one that's swooping down the outside and will give you a sight. So they were the two for me here. Quaddy kicks off with the Group 3 BRC Sprint. This is an absolute ripper. Tricky race. Again, a few that you've mentioned previously, Beaver. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm going for Emerald Kingdom around the $15 mark. I think that's fantastic value for this race. Again, as I mentioned last start, its last start win, it's held up, got out late and went bang to win that race. I think it sets up nicely again here. There'll be a bit of pace on. We know with horses like Buffalo River, Taxu, so you can find a spot in behind them. As long as it can get some cover from gate 12, I think it can be a real show when the whips are cracking at the end of the race. So I've got Emerald Kingdom on top. I think Oscar Zulu is reasonable value as well. I think it can improve here and can be super hard to beat. That's what I've got on top here.
$15 has to be a bet, Emerald Kingdom. It's a great bet. And I agree with you. You've mentioned Oscar Zulu, who was a tragedy at Gosford. Comes here, again, outside gate and a wide... Where are we here? Gate inside 1, not an outside gate. Sorry, inside gate. I was looking at Blondeau's gate there. Might be a concern by this stage. We'll need a good run, but I think we'll run really well. And I really like the run of Gospodins. It's come back pretty well since it's been gelded, and it's going to be 20 to 1 as well. So might give you a sight. One potentially for your quaddies there. But the chances don't end there. Buffalo River's a chance. Dawn Passage a chance off through the same form as Emerald Kingdom. But cracking race. Race 8 is the Group 1 Queensland Derby for over the 2,400 metres, where I am going to respect the lead-up run here, but I'm going to flip it. I think I've got Paternal on top. There's my notes. Refresh here. I think it would just be... Where are we? Gets Bowman on. Nice gate for the Waller stable, and it'll be absolutely on point here for Team Waller. From the horse that beat it, Dark Destroyer, and the other one that I mentioned that flew in New Zealand before coming here, which was Pinarello. Very impressive in the Group 2 over there. Now, it's now nearly 6 weeks between runs is the main concern, but that's the way I was looking at the race.
Yeah, look, I think there is only 3 chances here, and they're the 3 in the market. It would take something for one of something outside of those to probably win this race. I've stuck with Dark Destroyer. I just think it keeps getting better each race and improving. Now it gets to 4th run in on this prep out to the 2,400. So gradually stepping up, and each time's got better and better. I think it can continue to improve and be super hard to beat here. So Dark Destroyer on top me. I think it's a really nice bet.
Race 9 is the Group 1 Kingsford-Smith Cup over 1,300 metres. Another ripper race. Are you able to dissect this one?
Oh, how good a race is this?
It's a cracker.
This is just an outstanding race when you get to horses like Away Game at 20s in the market. You know, Ranch Hand at 25. It's it's an unbelievable field and plenty of value in it. You know, the form lines are interesting. These are horses that been racing in good races and performing well. I've settled on Paul Eel.
So you think the Doomben 10,000 is the right lead up?
Yeah, I think that is the right lead up. I think its run against Marzu was outstanding. It's a quality horse that just doesn't put in a bad run. Marzu would start favourite in this, and it's ran against it last couple of starts, then wasn't far behind Nature Strip. It just is a good horse and a good consistent horse that won't put in a bad run. I think gate 8 is perfect for it. It finds a good trail here and is going to be super hard to beat. On Triviere, it's going to go back to the tail again, so it's going to have to reduce a barnstorming finish. It did last start. It was outstanding, and it has an amazing burst at the end, but it's going to have to give away a big start, and that's just, it's hard to tip when horses in these quality races, are going to be doing that. So I thought at Paulille on top, one of the main dangers I had was Isotope. It's had 3 runs on the soft for 3 wins, goes good at this distance, and the last run was pretty good, showed some serious improvement. It was come back in the field from near the tail and finished off quite nicely against Marzu. It'll continue to improve, and we know that it flies up at Brisbane, so it could be a really good chance around the $14-15 mark.
Yeah, cracking race. I'm scared, very scared of Paulille for all the reasons you've mentioned, but I'll be having something on a couple here at odds. Away game might be the widest runner in the straight, and if we're able to swoop at 20s, I think it's a great bet, going really well. Does need a win, but he's been honest all through some really good races there. First time to 1,300 metres, obviously a question mark as well, but happy to find out. I think 11-11 resumed very well at Scone, loves Queensland as well, and gets Bowman. And Ellsberg's another one that's going to be 20s. There's been some, all the best Sydney stuff for the last couple of preps. Comes here, Wide Gate and Nash. So I think it's a great race. I'm happy to spec a few of them at big odds. On Triviere, like you said, I'm taking on a little bit. It has been okay, but it's going to go right back to last. So Paulille's the main one I'm scared of, but going to spec those ones at a price.
What do you got the speed map here as?
What have I got the speed map here? I think Apache Chase will go forward.
Rothfire,
Isotope probably push up. And Ranch Hand from inside gate might be forward. Ellsberg might be able to find a nice spot.
It may be, but I was just trying to work out the pace, and Apache Chase from the 6 is probably going to lead, but Rothfire is going to probably
fly across, and Ellsberg can probably follow it across.
That's why I was really keen on Paulille, because I think he probably gets one off the fence sitting about 60, and I think that just gives it a perfect trial into the race. But yeah, I was keen, and there'll be some speed, which will help on Triviere, right?
Well, big fields tend to generate their own speed, don't they? So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, cracking race. Race 10, looking forward to hearing your Quaddy Beaver, but race 10 wraps it up with the Helen Coghlan Stakes over the 1,200 metres, black type for the girls. What have I done here? I think I'm going to stick with Najmati. I thought it was a very nice resumption down south going. Looks like it's come back quite well, this prep. And I just wanted to stay away from the Written Beauty lead up. So found it on top from Volpine, which was a nice return as well. Thick race, so not much more. Yeah, I'm not going to go through anything else there. What do you think?
Yeah, another tricky race. You're right. I've settled on Juan Diva at double figure odds here. Won brilliantly at Caulfield first up, and then wasn't disgraced behind Written Beauty last start. I didn't think it was as bad a run as what it may have looked. It finished 4th, but I think it didn't have a lot of luck in running there. I think it can certainly improve from that race. So I think with some natural improvement here, Juan Diva drawn well can be hard to beat, but super scared of a horse like April Rain at this time of the day. I think again it's drawn particularly well and can be super hard to beat. So I'd be looking at those two.
Excellent. massive card of racing at Eagle Farm. Do you want to do? We'll do your quaddie first, there, Beaver.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Pretty wide quad. Yeah, pretty wide quaddie here, but with any luck, we might get a collect. So my numbers in the quaddie at start in first leg, I'm going numbers 3, Emerald Kingdom, number 5, Soxagon, number 13, Oscar Zulu, number 16, Taxu, and number 12, Blondo.
Yep.
In the second leg, I'm going number 2, Dark Destroyer, number 5, Pinarello, number 12, Paternal. In the third leg, I'm going number 12, Entriviere, number 13, Paulille, number 4, 1111, number 14, Isotope, number 11, September Run, and number 15, Away Game. And in the last leg, I'm going number 1, Babylon Berlin, number 9, April Rain, number 10, Juan Diva, number 17, Madge Matty.
Beautiful. I'm going to make for progretracing.com. Of course, check them out, sign up for their mailing lists, and subscribe here to get free tips twice a week, every week. I make my best on the day Steel Prince and my value Emerald Kingdom in that sprint race. What have you done?
Yeah, I've got my best bet, race 8, number 2, Dark Destroyer, and my value bet is also Emerald Kingdom.
Oh, very nice. We head down south to Caulfield. We're going to go down to the dry Caulfield track there with the rail in the 11. Let's watch to see if it is on pace throughout the afternoon, but it played pretty well a couple of weeks back with the rail in a 9. Just typical winter racing down there, but it looks like a couple of good bets on the card. We kick off with race 1, which is a 1,000-metre benchmark 100. We're going to kick off and forgive Dexalation's last start. Pulled up lame. Comes in here, got a claim for Alana Kelly, gate 1, so should get last shot at Starry Legend. And I think fits in this race really well, Beaver. What have you made of it?
I do. I think Dexalation is got a major chance here. I actually come down to 2, Zorro's Dream and Dexalation. I did put Zorro's Dream on top, just in front of Dexalation. But if I was, my strategy here would be sort of 80% of my stake on Zorro's and 20% on Dexalation to get my money back. But that's the play here.
I like it. Race 2 is the babies over the 1,200 metres. What have you made of this race?
Yeah, hard to line some of this form up here. Some first starters don't know a lot about. I like the win first start for Proud Conquest from the Friedman stable. Has McNeil on board here. Won at Donald and won convincingly when well found in the market. Sat on pace. Natural improvement. We'll see it in the finish.
Agree. Yeah, I've got it on top as well, but the unraced McEwen trialled pretty well, McKeown. And a couple of ones we don't know, so not doing cartwheels we bet in this race, but Proud Conquest on top. I pretty much don't do cartwheels at the best of times. But anyway, race 3 is the mile handicap. What have you done here?
Yeah, good little race this. Thought there was, 5 or 6 chances here. I did settle on Oceana Blue from the Moody stable. I thought its first up run at Sandown was outstanding. Came home over the 1,800 first up. Was well found in the market and flew home against Aravine, which is franked that form. Carried 59.5 that day, so it gets a 5.5 kilo weight relief here with a claim. So it's down about 7 kilos on that run. It would be improved by that over the 1,600, so slightly back in distance here. But I think it's a really nice bet.
Agree. I thought the main danger was Chartreuse getting back onto a drier track from Gosford. has been going pretty well this prep. And again, is another one that just sort of fits this race quite nicely. I think they're the main two, and pretty keen actually. I think they're the two main chances, and you can cover both. Race 4, and throughout the rest of the card, there's a few Sydney siders popping up looking for dry tracks, I'm assuming. Race 4 is the 1100 metres, benchmark 78, where one have said Sydney siders is Authentic Jewel. Comes down here off the it copped some injuries in run at Scone, so you can forgive that. Before that, resumed pretty well behind Sacrimony, and you're going to get about $9 on the day for a horse that's going to be on the pace at Caulfield. So on top from me, and very scared of and will back as well. This Gently, which was fantastic debut, and I suspect it's got ability because Arrowfield have sent it to Peter Moody and not kept it in Scone. So must go all right.
Yeah, look, I've got it on top as well. Gentility, outstanding first run. Had the one at Mornington, well backed, killed him, sent out for a spell, and they've brought it back here. Looks a quality horse to me. I think it's great value at $4. Main danger, Miss Belvani. It was pretty good first up at Horsham, finished off nicely, and from another good stable. So hard to beat it, but Gentility a clear on.
Just back now, minor blip there, but I was just saying, Beaver, that getting in some nice form, Peter Moody, you might have an idea on training horses.
Yeah, who would have guessed?
Yeah, some bit of a shock, eh? But building a nice stable full of some talented youngsters now.
Yes, yeah, going well. It's getting some good horses.
Race 5 is 1100. Did I do my tips in that race? Yes. Race 5 is the 1100 meter benchmark 78. Speaking of which, he's got a talented one here in Diamonds in the Sky. But I've got Cerberos on top, coming down here from Sydney, back onto a dry track will suit it. And gate 1 means it's going to get a pretty nice run here with Brett Preble on. So a nice each way bet for me in this race. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I thought Cerberus was going to be hard to beat as well. I thought it's been taken here from Gosford. Its last start run wasn't a bad one. You always got to respect horses coming from Sydney to Melbourne, and that's why I also had Darylina Bell as a danger as well. So I kind of had both of them and thought in a a field that's got a bit of mixed form, that both of those might run well. But yeah, obviously Moody's got the two in the market, the two favourites, but this is 650 the field here, so a wide field. Yeah, you could pick a few, horses like Arapuni, Princess. Is definitely a chance as well. It can run a good race. It's placed 7 at its 13 starts and has a pretty powerful finish when it's on.
Race 6, benchmark 78 over the 1200 meter, kicks off the quaddie. Nice deep field, but I was putting Sig Positano on top. I think can hopefully find a nice position in running line close to the pace from that gate. Going really well this prep, and there'll be a bit of pace on with Jigsaw and the like in the race, which should suit it. So I think it's a nice each way bet here in a tricky field. What have you done here? Something on Imperial Hilton if it does get a run and a jockey.
Yeah, super chance here, Sig Positano, you're right. But I've stuck with Jigsaw. Bounced back to its best form last start, just jumped to the front and gave nothing else a chance at Cranbourne. Gate 15 is a little bit of a concern because it's going to have to use a little bit of petrol to get across here. But I think if Jigsaw drew gate 5 to 8 or something like that, it'd probably be $3.50. You're getting close to $5 here because it's got the 15. Couple of scratchings will probably bring it in. So I don't think, it might jump from gate 12-ish on the day with any luck. And I think it's got enough juice to burn across and potentially just keep kicking in this race.
Yeah, cool. Definite chance. Race 7, 2,000 meter benchmark 100. Two hopes. Which way are you going?
I'm going Bermudez. Just was explosive last start at Warrnambool. Beat a pretty good horse, Heart of Puissance. I know Heart of Puissance was first up over 1,700 and probably wanted a little bit further. But Bermudez just, it exploded. It just had the right run. I can see from the gate 4 here, it also getting the right run. 2,000, I think, won't be a problem. As you said, there is only 2 chances because the rest of the field stinks. 56 kilos, so it drops 3 kilos from that last start. And yeah, really like it.
Agree. Real line chaser. It seems one of those horses, and it gets a leader in its sights. It just loves to mow them down. So I think it'll be the case here. And you know what you're going to get with Grand Slam. It's going to be on pace, rolling along, and on its day can destroy these sort of fields. But yeah, I think Bermudez is a very talented horse. Race 8 is a mile benchmark 84, where I'm again probably only 2 chances. I'm going with Hosier. Very nice resumption. We'll roll along on the pace. Alana Kelly on top helps. And give you a great sight from the main danger, Sir Davy, who's been brave every start this prep. And you can, at the prices, sort of back each way. Very scared of Visionari. So I should probably say 3 chances. Yeah, 3 chances. What have you done here?
Yeah, Hosier on top for me. Resumed very, very impressively. It was never in doubt in that race and just cruised along at high speed. And again, second up here over 1,600. I think this horse has gone on to way better races than a benchmark 84. I think you're potentially seeing a high quality group horse here, and I think at the price it's pretty good.
Beautiful race. We wrap up the card with a benchmark 84 over the 1,400 meters. How are we going to finish the day?
Yeah, another tricky affair. I think you're looking at the fields here at all day. You're looking for horses in the market. You got the resuming Diagolero here, showing some really. It's trialled okay. Hasn't really been fully tested, but back its last preparation, won 2 races, and they were pretty good fields. Beat King Magnus by a couple of lengths pretty easily, and then came out and beat Mancayan, another good race at Flemington. It has had quite a lengthy spell here. It's nearly 12 months, so I'm not sure why such a long spell, but Paddy Payne is flying, is the master, and I've got it on top. I thought one of the main dangers was Camborne. I think it can run much better second up here. Had some excuses first up when it was in the market. Not sure, maybe the extra heavy track took its toll, but I think it can improve here second up.
I agree. I've got Dagula on top, and that's nearly a year off, but it's had a bunch of trials to get ready for this, so I imagine this is a target race to kick it off. Now they've got it up and ready. From Camborne, like you said, and back to Agreeable after that, but I think might be a talented horse. Caulfield quaddie time. What am I going to do here? I'm going to go first leg. 3 Sacred Palace, 4 Sig Positano, 11 Jigsaw, and 16 Blood Oath, 19 Imperial Hilton, 2 Grand Slam and 4 Bermudez in the second leg. Then 3 Hosier, 8 Sir Davy, and 14 Visionari. Home with 2 first accused, 3 Zoist, 9 Agreeable, 14 Diagula, and 15 Camborne. We've got a best end value at Caulfield.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident on a number of the horses we've tipped there, 5 or 6 of them. But my best one is Hosier in race 8, number 3. I think it's going to be the hardest to beat. And my value bet, I think there's a fair few horses that's kind of are presenting value. I've gone for Jigsaw, around $5. I think it's really good value in this race. I think you'd be getting far less if it was drawn a little bit closer to the fence. So I think Jigsaw for me.
I'm going to make Sig Positano my best. Tricky race to really tricky day to stamp a best, but it's a day I'm pretty keen to bet a few at value, like we've talked about, and I'll make my value Cerberus. having said that. So around $9 mark for the Waller stable. Have you had a look anywhere else around Australia?
I have had a quick look at Sydney, and I did have a couple of things that I thought were worth maybe having a look at. I thought the early races of the card were pretty tricky, so I steered clear of most of those. And I'm just having a look, going through. I thought race 6, number 4, Democracy Manifest. Certainly think it's going to be super hard to beat. It just keeps getting better and better. So I had hit. I think Andermatt can turn its last start failure around and win. I think the stable's got a pretty big opinion of this horse and backing it up quickly. And I think Kerwin's Lane in the 8th, around the $6.50 mark. I think it presents good value as well.
Very good. Yeah, the first two you mentioned would be the two I would as well. Andermatt back to 1,100 metres. And Democracy Manifest looks a talented horse. That has been Show Us Your Tips for Pro Group Racing. Thank you, Beaver. Good punting tomorrow.
Same to you, mate.
And take care, everyone. We'll talk to everyone for our midweek show next week. Catch you soon.